That's all I got to say. Rachel, come on up.
You can keep going.
Huh?
You can keep going.
I'm done. You got 15 minutes.
This guy's all fired up. Okay. Is this on? Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel Hershberger Hawley. Yes, Joe Keim invited me for the second time, and this time I'm just going to kind of go over a little bit what the Lord has done, what path He has led us down, and some of the people that He has brought into this mission, like Samuel Gerard. He just contacted me not too long ago, and I was at a conference at the time, at a Conklin convention actually, and I look at my phone and I saw that he had called me. And I was busy, so I ignored it. I have a whole team of people that answer the phone. We have a hotline. So anyways, I looked at my phone, I saw that it was him, and then I got a message say, please call me. So I called him up, and I said, is this an emergency? Samuel said no. So I said, okay, I'll call you later. When I called him back, he told me there's children involved, and I got a little upset with Samuel. I said, yes, it is an emergency. I have a team of people that I work with that are happy to help you, so if it's children, it is an emergency. So anyways, I thought that Glenn Yoder would appreciate that a little bit. I got a little upset with Samuel. Anyways, but he led us down this path that we are on right now, and there's so much to go over. I have Lisa over here, who is our director. She came on board not too long ago. God has sent this wonderful woman to help us, and she is, guys, she's amazing. She does things that I cannot do. She gets into people's boxes, so to speak, because a lot of people like to live in a box. And they just live there, and she pokes at that a little bit, and she gets information from people and to people where it needs to go, and has led us down many paths. But I'm going to try to stay on track, and so I did type out some stuff. I realized that a lot of people do that, and it's probably a good idea. So anyways, I was here last year and I shared, but for those who do not know, I am one of the founders of Amish Rescue Mission. We have a table out there, you might have already seen it, and I just want to share a little bit of where the Lord, our Savior, has been taking us since last time I shared, and also to bring you kind of up to speed on just what we have done and stuff. So around 4 years ago, a little 12-year-old girl got pregnant by one of her 4 brothers in Missouri. And that stumped me. When things happen in your life that you just like stops you in your tracks, I believe it is the moment where God is saying, you need to open your eyes and you need to listen. And that is when I stepped out of the boat that's no longer back here, but you guys have a good vision. Oh, it's over there, that boat. I stepped out and I decided I need to listen to God and not to man. Amen. Because when I was listening to man, and it still happens, they want us to shut up, be quiet, don't talk about abuse. It's in the past, leave it alone. No, it's still happening over and over and over. So we are not going to shut up, and we do ruffle feathers, a lot of them, but sometimes that's all right. Because like I said, listening to man is not going to solve many things. So anyways, let me get back on track here. So anyways, I decided that, well, God put on my heart that education is what these children needed. These boys and this little girl needed to be educated on safe touch, not safe touch. Like what is wrong and what is right. And that is, there's nothing like that out there, because I started looking. I'm like, I'm gonna find a poster online that I can print out, and I can just go and put it in their mailboxes, or I can take it to their schools or something like that. But I noticed very quickly that the posters that were out there they're not for the little Amish children. They're not gonna understand this. So I started doodling and came up with a poster for them. And so that's how it started. And then I was like, all right, God, I did it. I'm done now. I had no idea that He had much, much, much bigger plans, because when that was done, all of a sudden, I realized law enforcement, these people, the communities that are living around the Amish people, they're still not educated to come and, yep, that's me, sorry. They're still not ready to take these children on if they do come forward. So we made a video. Joseph Graber helped with that video. Janelle Zimmerman helped with that video. And so we made a video to try to educate law enforcement and talk about the language barriers and how the Amish work and so forth. And it went from that to us putting up a billboard in Ohio. Now I have all my stuff on here. Do you want to play the video? And then we are now also putting smaller videos or smaller signs like this that are more simple out at the schools, beside your road. If there's Amish buggies that go by, let us know. We'll get you a sign if you're willing to put it out. But CJ is here. The Amish potato is also on our team, and he made this.
You can see an Amish Rescue Mission sign. This has been here all summer. Surprisingly, it hasn't been taken down. But if you're interested in putting some up in your area, contact Amish Rescue Mission at amishrescuemission.org. I'll put some links in the description box below. This is close to a school. It just teaches the kids safe touch, not safe touch, and gives them a number to call. It gives them a way out if they're being sexually abused. So, yeah, if you're interested, if you live close to an Amish community, link below. Get a hold of Amish Rescue Mission, put some signs up. It's easy, and it gives the kids a way out. I'm CJ, this is the Amish Potato. See you next time.
That man has a YouTube video, or YouTube channel. You should go check out his video, his content. He's just trying to bring awareness to all kinds of different content. And he is very, very fortunate that he's on our team and he is helping us. So it just, every time I think, okay, this is like what God has brought me to do. This is where we're at, something else. It just keeps getting more and more and more. We get deeper and deeper into it. And then the whole thing that happened with Sam Gerard, and he brought us Detective Martin came into our lives, and we had a Zoom meeting with him, and we were just like, after these children said no, they just said no. There were Pennsylvania Dutch interpreters available for them, but they hardly even, did they even use them? One time for like one question. And then these kids are so conditioned to say no that if you yank them out of their home and you put them in a, I don't care what nicest room that you can put them in, they're still yanked out of their home, their environment. And it's just, they're falling through the cracks. So we had another Zoom meeting, and we just like brainstormed, like, how can we do more? How can we get more involved and actually maybe possibly do these interviews ourselves? Because there's forensic interviews, what they call them, and these people are trained just to work with children, to ask the right questions, get them comfortable, build some rapport, all of that stuff. You can still say, and you can have the nicest room, just like Samuel said. You can have the nicest room that they think there is, but if you yank these children, Amish children, out of their environment, they're just not budging, they're not cracking, they're not talking. And so we were like, what can we do? And so Detective Martin said that they contact the Child Advocacy Center in their state. So we're like, oh, well, we can do that too. So Lisa and I got busy. We contacted every child agency center in every state, all the states. There's not Amish in every state, but we're like, you know what, we're gonna do them all, because there's very, very few where there's not Amish in it. One of the first ones that contacted us back within, like, I don't know, was it the same day or the next day, was Colorado. We set up a Zoom meeting with her, and then she just went into detail on how they do this. And also, they were reaching out to us because they realized they have Amish in their state. And they were like, well, how do we help them? Like, they are running into barriers there. And so they were looking, they're actually looking for someone to help them. And so she told us, Ashley told us, that they get trained in Minneapolis, Minnesota, at this place called Corner House. So we're like, Minnesota. I'm right there. And so Lisa contacted them, and she set up a Zoom meeting. And this is where God comes around and just like, sometimes it's just a great big hug. And he does it all the time. I looked at the name, and I recognized the name that's from this lady that I met about 5 years ago. Went to her about 5 years ago when all this abuse, I started talking about it, because I did not talk about my abuse for 30 years. Finally started talking about it, and one of my friends said, you need to go meet this lady Jane. She knows a lot about this stuff, and she can maybe help you. And she encouraged me back then to report my abusers. She said, doesn't matter how long it was, go report them. And I did. And it helped me, even though nothing became of it, it helped me realize what other victims, actually the steps that they have to go through when they are reporting. It's not that simple, but we also help people. Go on our website sometime and just check out all the different things that we help people with. But that is one of them, and one of them is help people report, because it is a step process, and it is stepping way out of your comfort zone, way out of your boat, whatever boat you're in at that time. And so I did. I reported it, but like I said, I was reunited with this woman like so many years later, and she remembered me. And after we had our little moment of like remembrance, we just went right into detail of what we need. It's like, this is happening to these children. They're falling through the cracks. They're not using Pennsylvania Dutch interpreters. We have them, but they're not using them the way that they should be used. Like, we should be the ones that go in and build rapport with these children and talk to them. And she's like, well, then we'll train you. We'll train you. And then I went into detail. I'm like, well, lots and lots of former Amish people, bilingual, that speak both languages, they want to step out and they want to help, but many of them do not have GEDs. And she's like, well, in your situation, we will make exceptions. Don't need them. Don't need them. So we are looking for teams of people who are willing to step way out of their comfort zone and go get trained to be a forensics interview for these children. We are also the same people. We're going to be looking for, you need to be willing to dress Amish. You need to be willing to go into Amish homes. We need to start catering to the children. They should not be catering to us. We should not be yanking them out of their homes and putting them into a foreign place and expect them to talk.
Yes.
That's what's happening, and they're falling through the cracks. Samuel was talking about this case. They yanked the mother and put her into a rehabilitation center because she came out and talked about abuse. That's what's happening. Those are the fears that are happening. Now the mom is deemed to be crazy, and nobody is listening to her. And these children are not getting help. These children we don't even know where they are. Now they're put into different homes, and what's happening to them there? We already know that little children who get abused are later on just easier targets. We know that. So now here they're in who knows where, and so we need to do better. We need to do better, and we are looking for people. There's sign-up sheets in the back. But also reach out to amishrescuemission@gmail.com, and Lisa will get back with you, and she will, talk to you like there's all kinds of ways to help us. There's packets to be delivered to the sheriff's stations to educate them. There's these signs, if you feel led, to put out in your yards. And then I want to take the last minute here, and I want to talk about Miriam, who we helped some years back. Would you put up her picture? All right, so I reached out to Miriam last night. We rescued this girl twice. She came to us with her sister. They were being abused. We helped them, and then the Amish just came at them so hard that they were pressured to go back. They went back, and then Miriam called us again, and she said, I'm going to get shunned on Sunday. I cannot do this. I don't want to do this. Please come get me. We took off, went and picked her up. And she went through some rough patches. Even when she was out, it was right through COVID. She didn't have a Social Security number. And the Social Security office at that time was closed. They wouldn't take people face to face. And they would not let her get a Social Security number. She had all her documents, and she would call in, and they basically told her she's not a person. Yeah. And she's like, I'm right here. But they just wouldn't believe her because it was over the phone, and it wasn't face to face. And I'm like, the office is not open. Like, what do we do? So she went through a really rough time, but she did end up getting her driver's license, and she got, so she could get a job. She met a guy, and they got married, and now they have a little baby. And I just wanted to show you guys, look at this little guy. And she came from a very dark place, and this is one of the things that just overjoys me. And this this is her and her little boy. Last night I reached out to her and says, hey, can I talk about you? Will you send me a picture? And then she sent me a whole bunch, and I couldn't figure out which one I want to put up there. So there's before and after. So this was Miriam before, and she planted a smile on her face, but I'm telling you, this one over here is much happier. So these are just some of the things. I'm out of time. These are some of the things that we have been able to do and actually help people. Our primary focus is on the children. We will help others that come to us too, but there are many more resources out for older people than there are for children. So our focus is going to be the children, because I really believe that if I would have known this when I was a little girl, that my life could have been very different. And all the praise goes to the Lord, because like I said, when you start listening to God and you stop listening to people, things change. Samuel made a mess. Sorry, I just thought I'd inform you what's going on up here. I want to thank everybody who has made this conference just happen. Joe Kime, everybody give him a hand. Joe Kime and his lunch. He's an amazing man. I've talked to him on the phone before I met him, and when I met him, it's like I've known him almost my whole life. He's just one of those people, and I have a feeling a lot of people feel like that. Yeah. Lisa, did I miss anything? Okay. If you guys have any questions, come ask any of us. I want to thank the team that came with me out here, and God made a way for them to be here and be part of this. And I think they got a lot out of the conference, aside from just being here and helping us. Very quickly, so there are forensic viewers that have reached out to us and asked us how they can actually build rapport with these children. We've tried to help them, but we realize we have to do more. There has to be people that speak Pennsylvania Dutch. But we did make this. I made this over the last couple of days. They've asked us to have like a little boy and girl silhouette so they can use this as an illustration of like, have you been touched here, etc. So I whipped this up in the last, week or so, because our little boy and girl on here, a little outdated. So I made a new one, and so we will be providing these for all the forensic interviewers now if they are willing and they want to use them. So I want to share that too. So thank you, everyone, and be blessed.
It was telling me, climb out of the boat. Take a walk on the way. Some places you'll never go till you step out on faith. Don't fear the wind or the rain. Jesus called you, now go. Others might think you're insane. Just climb out of the boat.